Hey guys, welcome to Tiger Fitness Live. This is Steve Shaw, editorial director at Tiger Fitness, sitting here in my office on a Thursday, waiting for a 3-day weekend, headed home to Wisconsin to see my kids. And we're going to do a live video. I'm going to talk about how to make every set count. Before I get into today's topic, I'll remind you guys that Swoley is in stock. Swoley, the post-workout amplifier. We have two good articles on the site regarding the main ingredients in Swoley, which are Velocitol, and you can find a Velocitol article just by searching Velocitol Tiger Fitness or going to Tiger Fitness, the search, and putting in Velocitol in the search bar. Or we have a great article on Aminogen as well. So Swoley is here. And something I'm excited about, I've been drinking these like crazy. Red, White, and Boom, the new energy drink from America Energy. I've been pounding the orange, and I've yet to try not your granny's apple, but that's good too. We got that in stock here at Tiger Fitness. All right, guys, I'm going to get into the main topic, then you guys can shoot me your questions. How to make every set count. I get so many lifting questions, about trying to major in the minors. How many sets, how many reps, what exercises are the best. A lot of guys and girls are trying to maximize the muscle building process by looking at a lot of different things. Are drop sets useful? Is rest pause useful? All these kinds of things. But as a centering point, as something you really need to have locked down, you need to make sure you learn how to make every set count. The best way to get the muscle building process really rocking is to learn how to make sets count. And this is advice I give. I've given over and over again on my channel, Massive Iron. But to do that, it's kind of a lost art. I teach people to take every set for as many reps as possible, stopping that set when they feel like they might fail on the next rep or when they feel like their form's going to break down. So basically, you're taking a set to the limit. You're taking the set to the limit with good exercise form. You don't want to take a set to failure. There's no need to take a set to failure. And I don't want you doing reps with bad form, because that's a good way to increase the likelihood of injury. But when you are taking a set for as many quality reps as possible, pushing that set to the limit, you're not only maximizing progressive overload naturally and safely, but you are also recruiting a maximal amount of muscle fibers. The deeper into a set you get, the more muscle fibers you are recruiting. Now think about it. The first couple reps of a set are rather easy, and the deeper into a set you get, the more difficult the reps feel. And that's because you're picking up fatigue and your body has to call in more and more muscle fibers to push forward. So as a foundation, if you want to build a maximal amount of muscle, you need to learn the art of making every set count, and this is how you do it. All right, guys, I'm going to do, I got about 27 minutes left on the Q&A. If you have any questions, pop them up here. If I miss them, I'll try to get to them. And let's see, Coach B said, I heard go to failure on every set. This is very bad advice, and this is why. Number one, it's not necessary to build muscle. Number two, taking a set to failure usually involves a breakdown of exercise form, which is not a good idea. On some lifts it's okay, on some lifts it's not. And C, generic advice, like taking every exercise to failure, is really bad advice, because every exercise is different. Some exercises you can take to failure without, any downsides at all. And some exercises you take to failure, you really increase the risk of injury. Not all exercises are created equal. And anybody that makes a blanket claim about exercises saying take them to failure doesn't understand this fundamental truth. And you really have to approach the rest of their information with a little bit of, skepticism. So I hope that makes sense. All right, let's see what we got here, guys. Let's see, I know the topic is making every set count, but what do you think about HMB supplements? That's not my area of expertise, but I will go over to the Tiger Fitness group on Facebook and ask that one for Mark and have him answer that question. Mike says, "Good morning. Any benefit to taking additional creatine when taking Clash?" Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to explain why. I'm so old. I remember when creatine first came out. And there's some people that are easy responders to creatine and some people that are not. I respond very well to creatine. We have become so used to having creatine in our pre-workouts, but back in the day, we used to take a little bit more, 5 to 10 grams per day. If I think it's a good idea for most people at some point in their lifting career to take 10 grams a day for a month. Creatine's inexpensive. It's proven. There's no downsides to this. And sometimes some of us will notice a better benefit. For me, I always notice really good muscle pumps. The amount of creatine in most pre-workouts isn't really a lot. It's a fair amount for your workout. But I would run 5 grams first thing in the morning and 5 grams post-workout for about a month just to see if you notice any additional benefit, and it won't, cost an arm and a leg. All right, let's see what else I got here, you guys. I'll be on for about a half an hour. Ishmael says, "Any more free Swoley shirts left?" Unfortunately, not. Those things blew out the door like crazy. DJ Murph says, "Doesn't matter when you take the creatine." No, but it's a good idea to space it out. So if you're going to take more than just in your pre-workout, you probably want to space it out as evenly as you can. I recommend first thing in the morning and post-workout, but it can be really just try to space it out probably at least 8 hours if you're taking a couple doses. Let's see. Coach B said, "I have a great question. A friend of mine was an amateur bodybuilder. He swore by high rep sets for legs, especially because of the sheer size of the muscle." That's become part and parcel of how many people view you should train legs with high reps, because the legs are used to repetitive types of stuff. But really, I don't necessarily feel, I don't like really low rep sets for legs, especially certain exercises like hack squats and leg extensions and leg curls. For legs, I do like to train them a little bit more with a few more reps, generally 10 to 20. But is it the only way? Is there a magical way for, magical formula for legs? It's going to depend exercise to exercise. But ultimately, it's like everything else. You have to see what feels right for you on that exercise, and you have to find a rep range that works for you on that exercise and progress and just attack progression. I do like a little bit higher reps on legs, just as I do a little bit higher reps on arms, because low reps, heavy weight on certain exercises for arms and legs just doesn't make sense. I mean, who wants to do a 5 to 8 rep set of leg extensions? So let's see. Jerry Ward says, "You're fat and you should finally cut." Steve Shaw says, "Jerry Ward is weak and should actually get strong." I've seen Jerry lift, and he's very weak. So, any way you want to play that game, that's fine. I don't want to get involved in drama. I'm quite happy with where I am as far as body fat, and you can check my Instagram at BendaBarman to see my vascularity and size. I'm both bigger and more vascular than Mr. Ward. Thank you. Let's see here. Let's see. Tell Mark and Chad to start selling those Tiger Fitness polos. Hey, I wish I could have more of these. These things are like gold. And they got these little stripes on your arm, make your arms look bigger than they actually are. Ooh, cracking like an old man. Yeah, I love these polos. I wish we could get them back. Let's see, Coach B said he would like to do 50 rep sets for leg extensions. Nah. If you want to do high rep sets for legs, you're almost better off doing rest pause work or block training. What I mean is, like, for leg extensions, if you're going to do 50 reps, do a block set. Like, try to get to 50 reps as quickly as possible, just taking breaks briefly. So you could put on like 100, 130 pounds on leg extensions, cram out 15 reps, rest for 10 seconds, cram out 6 more, rest, and just try to get to 50 as quickly as possible and as safely as possible. Rest, pause, or block training like that is an excellent way to attack the legs. But 50 rep sets, by the time you start to get to the point where they're getting fatigued, Wasted a lot of time. So that's a little bit crazy, crazy, crazy. Uh, Annabelle says, does your lifting advice apply the same for women as far as sets and reps? Absolutely. Women do not play by a different game. If you look at like Instagram fitness or YouTube fitness, there's a lot of really bad advice for women. Like women that want to build a better booty or build, legs. A lot of female trainers have women doing a lot of crazy crap exercises that aren't very effective. So the same advice applies for a woman. In all things, they have to find exercises that they like to do, work them for progressive overload, get stronger, be safe, and just attack your sets. Absolutely, because it's going to give you that fit, athletic look you're after without doing all the fluff that's being taught in this industry. Let's see here. Let's see. Tan May says, sir, is 20 rep squat routine good for beginners? A 20 rep squat routine should not be attempted until you have a solid foundational understanding of squat form. When is your squat form good? When you have somebody that knows how to squat, critique it and says, yeah, you're doing pretty good. You're probably ready for a 20 rep squat set. And that doesn't mean just some average bro at the gym. You need to find somebody that has a good understanding of squat form and simply ask them, hey, will you look at my squat form? Tell me what you think. You can go over to the Tiger Fitness group on Facebook, and that's linked below. I'll put the link below to that. And ask, how does my form look? Once your form is good, I would spend 6 months building up a strength base on squats. Get to the point where you can do 185 for 8 to 10 and with good form, and then you're probably ready to try 20 rep squats. That's just general advice, but it's pretty decent advice. Block sets, yeah, give those a try. You will not regret block sets. When you do rest pause work or block work for any body part, you're going to notice you get incredibly sore the next day on an equivalent amount of reps. So you could do a 5x10 on volume training for bench press, or you could do a block set of 50 reps on bench press. You're going to notice if you do rest pause training or block training, you're going to be much more sore than you would just doing volume work. So it's a way to get the same amount of volume in and really tax the muscle. I'm a big fan of that type of training. Any tips? Let's see. Cooler says, any tips on thickening the oblique and abdominal muscles? One mistake people make when attacking the obliques and abdominals is that they don't challenge them. They do a lot of reps. So to strengthen your obliques and to strengthen your abdominals, you have to find ways of using progressive overload. The foundation for me on ab work is usually planks and ab wheel rollouts, getting to the point where you can do those effortlessly. And then you can find ways of adding in challenge or resistance. And there's so many exercises available right now on YouTube, ways to add resistance and challenge to your obliques and abdominals. But you have to find a way to really challenge them and get really aggressive with that. Let me get a drink of red, white, and boom here. Allergies kill me. I'll be on for at least 15 more minutes. And if I miss your question, throw it up again. Rico Sanchez says, I follow you on Instagram. You're definitely in better shape than half of these YouTubers. Thank you. A lot of people will call me fat in the social media world and the YouTube world, but you know what? I'm 50 years old. I lost 100 pounds, and if you check out my physique on Instagram, you know what? I'm doing pretty darn good for a 50-year-old. I got good size and good vascularity that I'm proud of. So let's see here. Late to the party. Welcome, Jack. What exercises for obliques and abdominals? Again, the foundation that I like to use is tell people to get really good at a plank and get really good at ab wheel rollouts. Once you can get really good at ab wheel rollouts, then you want to start trying some advanced variations and things like that. But get really good at those first as a foundation. Fixing post-workout water retention. Sorry, Justin, I'm not a bodybuilder. I just like building muscle, so that's not my area of expertise. I would go over to the Tiger Fitness group on Facebook and post that up. Maybe tag Mark, and he'd be glad to help you. Lifting Lutheran, what's going on? Good to see you on board. Appreciate your support of me and Tiger Fitness. The Lifting Lutheran says, I don't seem to have any muscle soreness after barbell benching, but any other chest exercise, say hammer press, gives me muscle soreness. Is this because of my press technique? Not necessarily. Each exercise has different movers. So in the bench press, you have it's very it'll attack the front delts. It involves the triceps. It involves the chest. It involves a number of muscle groups. So each exercise is going to involve these muscle groups to a varying degree, to a different degree. So it could be on your bench press, it could be technique, it could be the fact that you're very tricep dominant or front delt dominant, and that becomes very exaggerated on the bench press. But you also can't use soreness as necessarily an indicator of effectiveness, because you can make yourself sore on a lot of different exercises that aren't as impactful as the bench press. So overall, you want to work to get your bench press up to 275 for reps or 225 for a lot of reps, 8 to 10 reps. And once you do that, that's a really good strength base. And then you can kind of play around with like pausing on the chest. You can also do guillotine bench presses, and they are not brought to your neck. They're brought down about 8 inches above your neck. And so you're not putting your shoulders way far back and putting them in a precarious position. I found those are good for chest as well. Alternating dumbbell bench presses are good for chest, and our regular dumbbell bench presses. So just play around a little bit. All right, if I miss your question, just toss it up. Let's see. V the Great says hitting chest 2 to 3 times a week for quite some time now. Still not seeing definition. Thoughts? Definition comes from fat loss. Like the chest is not a thick muscle. It's not going to just grow out like 3 inches or even an inch. You can gain a lot of size on the chest, and it's not really going to, unless you get stripped down and lose some fat, you're not really going to see a lot of definition. You could work for 3 to 4 years and build up an amazing amount of natural muscle size, like get close to your natural muscle potential on your chest, and still not see a lot of definition because you simply need to get leaner. So if you're not seeing definition, it's mainly a leanness issue. Let's see, Andrew says, what's your go-to pick-me-up supplement energy drink for the morning or afternoon? You know what? When I'm hiking on the weekends, I love the Red Monsters. When I'm here at work, I'm a big fan of Bang. Bang will kick you in the butt. I can't handle 2 most days. I have to sip 1 really slowly, but you can't go wrong with Bang. I've been trying these guys all week long. We got some samples in. I've been doing 1 or 2 a day. It's not super potent. That doesn't mean it's not good. But what I mean by that is like a Bang will just simply kick you hard. This is about at a level with a Monster. The taste is pretty good. I mean, if the taste is off-putting, I'm not going to drink it. It's not on the level of a Monster. But it's still a real good solid choice. But when I'm not at work on the weekends, I'm doing the Monsters. When I'm at work, I'm doing the Bang or the Boom. The Bang and the Boom. All right, let's see. Just Too Rough says, how to determine a starting weight when you're new to working out. The first thing you want to do when you're new to working out is pick something that is light and not intimidating and learn good form. Spend 2 to 3 weeks with this lightweight, just getting used to being in the gym and developing a good habit. You're also going to notice when you start lifting that there's a lot of shakiness. You need to adapt. When you're first starting out with lifting, you need some neuromuscular adaptation. That shakiness is your central nervous system trying to figure out what the heck you're doing. So spend about 3 weeks lifting a moderate to a lighter weight until you get a good basic idea of how the exercise functions and how the weight feels, and then just slowly start to creep up from there over the coming weeks and months. And all of a sudden you'll start challenging yourself. After about a month in, you'll be pushing yourself more and more as your form's improving. So that's the best way to approach it, in my opinion. Let's see. I went to the gym today, but I didn't did my cardio. Will that affect my weight loss? No, cardio only, weight loss is 90% calorie deficit. It's 90% of food intake. So missing a day or 2 of cardio isn't going to do anything. How BCAA should be used. You know what? I like to take them. I usually drink them intra workout, and sometimes if I have a lot of soreness, I'll just sip on them all day long. So really, intra workout's the best way to start with BCAAs. DJ Murph says caffeine pills are better. I disagree with you because there's so many ingredients in here, other than caffeine. For brain and for overall energy, that I've taken caffeine pills and they do not hit me the same way Bang or Monster does. And this thing right here is just loaded with extra ingredients for your old brain power. So can't go wrong with that because we all need to be smarter. Unless we're. Let's see what else we got here. The Bang and the Boom Monster, seriously, just go straight up black coffee. I go black coffee in the morning, no cream for me, thank you very much. I just go straight black coffee. Let's see, Roman Reed, is there any side effect taking sleep aid by Tiger Fitness? Does the body start depending on it? I don't know because I've not run it for a long period of time. When it comes to sleep aids, you can try running it for an extended period of time. I tend to, when I'm using a sleep aid, just toss it in there when like I'm feeling super exhausted and just need to make sure I need a good night's sleep, or when I might be a little bit wound up from whatever I'm doing, just as an insurance policy. It's probably not a bad idea to run it for a week or two and then come off and see what you feel. But I don't think there's really any dependency issues. Eric Freeman says, how do you get rid of that pouch on the bottom of your belly? Are we talking post-work weight loss? Because if we're talking post-weight loss, if it's loose skin, the only way to get rid of it is surgery. If it's just normal fat, the only way to get rid of it is more fat loss. Let's see here. Is Bang keto friendly? As far as I know, it is. It has no calories and nothing really obnoxious in it, so you should be safe. Let's see. Any training tips on getting peeled glutes and hamstrings? Lose fat. I mean, everything, definition always comes down to fat loss. So there's really no tips other than that. Matthew says, I just finished recovering from cervical disc surgery between rest and no activity for 4 to 5 months. Need to start again. Any advice? Slow. You need to go slowly. You need to start very low, and you need to take as long as it takes to figure out what your body can and can't do. When I came off a shoulder tear, it took me 12 months to build my bench press back up. And that seems like a lot of time, but you have to be smart about things and you have to take things as the body will give them, not force it. Let's see. Mike says, any recommendation to reduce or eliminate strength loss while cutting body fat? The best thing you can do, in my opinion, is to cut very slowly. But you also have to understand that a smaller body is going to be a weaker body. And one thing you need to understand as well is that muscle memory is a real thing. So as you lose strength with fat loss, that cell has been fortified. Okay, that cell, the extra mitochondria or whatever it is in the cell that is built when you're building muscle and strength, that doesn't go away when you lose fat. So when I lost 100 pounds, my strength dipped and then it slowly started to come back again. So you have to cut slowly. I generally like to drop volume 20 to 30%. I don't overall set volume. I don't like to go heavy under 5 rep sets. It's better to get in your reps and push yourself. The best thing you can do is continue to push yourself and fight tooth and claw to hold on to the strength. But if you're losing strength while you're cutting, that's part of the process. Focus on what's important, and that is losing fat. Let's see here. Let's see. Are supplements really necessary? I've been lifting for 13 years and never taken anything. Supplements are just supplements. I mean, supplements have different applications for different needs. Like protein. If you're struggling, a lot of people struggle with their protein intake, so a shake's convenient. Is it needed? No. Is it convenient? Yes. Is a post-workout or is a pre-workout needed? Well, a lot of people will say no, they're not needed, but I like to keep one in my gym bag. You know what? Because I'm human. Some days I don't sleep enough. Some days I'm just tired. Some days I have the man flu. Some days I just need a kick in the pouch because I got a hard workout. So, is it needed? No. Can it help? Yes. Creatine. Creatine has a lot of benefits. It's been proven by science. Is it needed? No. Can it provide benefits? Yes, and that's scientifically proven. Is fish oil needed? No. Does it provide scientific benefits? It provides a myriad of scientific benefits, and they're not imaginary. Do you need any of these things? No, you do. You do not need them. Do they provide some benefits? Yes. So absolutely. Most supplements, the supplements we put out, the MTS line, they're backed by science for specific needs. They're not just like random, snake oils. A lot of people try to toss around in this industry, try to generalize, acting like, even though there are some snake oil people in the industry, people like us that actually care about the science. I'm editing articles on a daily basis with the science. I'm commissioning articles to our authors based on science. We're trying to put together products that have real scientific backing for specific needs. Are they needed by everybody? No. Do they fulfill certain needs? Absolutely. A test booster. Who here among us gets perfect sleep? Who here among us doesn't occasionally have stress? We struggle with eating problems. We struggle with weight. Our testosterone levels can be like a roller coaster because of things. So a test booster might help to smooth out the rough edges a little bit. Is it magic? No. Is it needed? No. Can it help? Of course. So I hope that answers your question. Let's see here. What is Jack K says? What is Swoley for? It is a post-workout amplifier. It helps but it potentiates the protein. It helps with protein digestion, which can help post-workout. But there's some good articles on Tiger Fitness about the two ingredients in Swoley. All you have to do, Google Velocitol or Google Aminogen and Tiger Fitness, and you'll find the two articles, and you'll find all the science behind Swoley. And those are legit quality articles. What are your thoughts about Halo Top ice cream? I love Halo Top. I love the high protein ice creams, but you know what? They're expensive as heck. So maybe once a month, once every 2 months. In my opinion, it's much easier to get like a plain Greek yogurt and mix in a protein powder. It's creamy, it's satisfying, it gives you a little bit of flavor, and it's less expensive, and it gives you just as much protein. So that's one option I like to do. Let's see here. I'll make sure I don't miss anything. What's your thoughts about Halo Top? Got that. I just want to be strong. Doesn't that kind of sound shallow? No, I mean, your goals are your goals. Be what you want to be. There's nothing shallow about going after what you want in life. Not everybody wants to build a maximal amount of muscle. Not everybody wants to be powerlifting strong. Some people want to be able to do a lot of body weight work. So I like to do body weight work. I do body weight work nearly every workout. I hike a lot on the weekends, and I do what I want to do. Be who you are, be the person you are, and don't make any excuses about it. So there's nothing shallow about being who you are, but there's a lot of insecurity when you're afraid to be who you are. Let's see, Kim says you can blend frozen fruit and make your own. Yep, you can blend frozen fruit, Greek yogurt, protein powder, all kinds of good stuff. If you're looking to gain weight, you can even add an ounce of heavy cream up into that thing as well. Do dips and push-ups give significant size to the chest? Constantine. There is a food chain of exercises. Dips and push-ups are good, but they're not as good as the big hitters. There's a food chain. You have your compound movements, and then you have exercises that are a little bit down the ladder, just a step down the ladder, like dips and maybe machine chest press and stuff like that. Everything can add size, but you have to look at the life of an exercise. When you start out with bench press, you might be at 95 pounds on the bench, and you can take that for, say, 360 up to 365. There's a lot of room for progression. On dips, all right, you might start out with just doing 5 dips. You might be able to take that to 90-pound weighted dips for 15. There's not as much room for progression as there is with bench press. That doesn't mean it's not a good exercise. That doesn't mean it won't pack on a lot of size, but you have to look at the exercises that have the most room for growth first and put those as a priority and then stack the rest. So I hope that helps. Let's see here. Mike, favorite flavor of machine fuel? I was a big snow cone fan. I like blue raz lemonade right now. That's what I got in my gym bag. But you really can't go wrong with any of them. Grapes, I'm not a big grape fan, but I like machine fuel grape. But I'll try blue raz lemonade. I believe it is. That's top notch. Alicio Benitez, what do you think about supplements to help your muscles and take oxygen in your body and boost testosterone? I covered that a little bit earlier, talking about supplements, but there are certain supplements that can help with the muscle building process. They can give a little bit of an edge, but it's kind of a generic question, so I have a hard time answering that. Damien says top 3 MTS whey flavors: ice cream sandwich, cookies and cream. Mint cookies and cream is lights out if you like mint. It's absolutely wonderful. For me, I liked apple pie because it smells just like an apple pie when you crack that sucker open. Cookies and cream and ice cream sandwich. You cannot go wrong with those 3 flavors at all. What do you recommend for chest and shoulders for us with rotator tears? Not my area of expertise. I'm sorry, Greg. I'm not an expert on rotator cuff tears. I would post that over at the Tiger Fitness group on Facebook and see if anybody can help you out. Alicio says, musically, will your balls shrink and hurt you in the long? Musically, will your balls shrink and hurt you in the long? I don't know what that means, man. Musically, will your balls shrink in the long? I don't know if that's a song or a song you're working on or what, but I have no idea what that means. Any new flavors coming along for the big line? No, we're just trying to get the big line established right now. Make people aware of the donations, that they go to Semper Fi. It's got some cool gear. I played a big part in the big development. I was a lot of hands-on, with logo design and branding and stuff like that. I'm a big fan of the big line, but right now we're just going to take it slow and let it grow as it should grow. Matthew says, last question for me, Steve, going back to my surgery, I suffered nerve damage as well. Do you believe there are any supplements out there to help heal nerves? Wow, that's an interesting question. Healing, like repair and recovery, are what you really have to look at. And that comes down to nutrition, really. And I don't know anything about nerve health, but I know that when you are exercising in general and when you are getting in good nutrition, that's the best way to maximize recovery and sleep as well. So just get that foundation out there. All right, guys, I've been going for 33 minutes. If you have any questions, fire them up. I'm about to jump off. Just a reminder, new MTS Swoley is available at Tiger Fitness. It's hot. It's selling like crazy. And we also have these new energy drinks. And we got Granny Apple, and we got Orange, and we got a bunch of other flavors. This is America Labs, Red, White, and Boom. This is good stuff. I've been drinking it all week. And let's see. How come it always cuts off when Steve does it? I'm using Chad's phone. And you know what? My phone's connected to my phone's connected to my YouTube account at Massive Iron, so I got to use the CEO's phone. And the CEO has like 852 apps jacked up on here for his kids, so they keep lagging the phone. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you for joining in on Tiger Fitness Live. We do Tiger Fitness Live every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. I will be back next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Mark will still be in Australia. Mark will be in Australia. So I'll be back next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope you guys can join me. All right, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day.